it's on.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to IGN Game Scoop. I'm your host, Damon Hatfield. Joining me now is Justin Davis,
Scoop.
Ryan McCaffrey,
Hello.
and Marty Sleva.
Hey.
And this week, Justin put up an article asking the IGN readers what games they're most anticipating for next year.
Yeah.
What 2014 games they're most anticipating. Get lots of interesting data here. IGN has a very large audience, so hundreds of thousands of people voted here. So now we can start painting a picture of the games that people are looking forward to in 2014.
Paint us a word picture, Damon.
The answers may surprise you.
Dramatic.
They might not.
Yeah.
They might be exactly what you expect.
Yeah, actually, some of these are.
Tonight on A Current Affair.
We split it up by genre.
Yeah, they're by genres. So
And we listed almost like every game that we could think of.
I did my best.
I mean, some of these are like,
Sure.
Yeah, I apologize in advance.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's actually a lot harder than you think. Like, I'm making this article. We'll do a poll and we'll ask people what they want. And then I'd realize after the third time going through it, I'd left off Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
And was like, whoop. Well, better get that on there. So I apologize in advance if any of your games of choice were accidentally omitted.
Thanks, Justin.
We'll start with the action category. It was one of the most popular genres. Watch Dogs, most anticipated action game.
Does this include, does action include first-person shooter?
No, shooter is separate.
Oh, okay.
Shooter is a separate category.
Okay.
So what is it up against?
So that beats out Infamous Second Son, The Order 1886. Okay. Those are the top three. So I was surprised that The Order 1886, a new IP, is beating out Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
That's great premise. I mean, I would have voted for The Order.
Yeah. And it's interesting, too, that's an exclusive, whereas... that's a Sony exclusive, whereas Metal Gear is coming to Sony and Microsoft platforms. So.
It's impressive.
I definitely think like new consoles, and especially the year after new consoles come out, that's your chance as a game publisher, a third-party game publisher, to really break through with a new brand. That's what Assassin's Creed. I think Gears of War was 1 year after the 360.
Yeah.
We had on the previous Game Scoop, 2007.
Yeah, that year
was the best year of Xbox 360.
Yeah.
So I think 2014 is definitely going to be, who knows whether The Order turns out to be a great game or not, but I can definitely see why people are hyped for it. It feels next-gen and new in a way that, maybe Metal Gear Solid is going to be great too, but I'm not surprised to see it.
Rounding out the top five, before there's a big drop-off, is Thief.
Okay.
We're looking forward to that.
Not an action game, but okay.
Well, this is the thing. What do you want from me, Ryan?
Make a stealth category!
I had a stealth category, and it had that and Metal Gear, and that was it.
That's good enough. Those are two good games.
Marty, you want to know something depressing?
What's
0.31%. 0.31%
I don't know where this is going. Don't break my heart.
of our audience is looking forward to Super Time Force.
You are...
Jerks.
You know what? That's Microsoft's fault more than anything else because that game's been, for what we can tell, done for months and months and months, and it's just been sitting on the shelf. Or Microsoft hasn't put it out yet. So.
Yeah, I got to play it at the Double Fine Day of the Devs here in San Francisco back in November, and the game is fantastic.
It's out in early 2014
on Xbox One and 360.
Yeah, both. So.
That was a smart move.
Yeah, it's a really great game.
All right, RPGs.
Okay.
Number one RPG, The Witcher 3.
Sure.
Wrong answer.
Whoa.
Whoa.
You think it should be South Park? That's number two.
But
that won't make 2014.
That does surprise me. The Witcher 3 looks fantastic, but I would have expected South Park to be number one on this list.
You remember Witcher 3 won the People's Choice Award at E3.
And that game looks
just
graphically, visually looks so good.
Yeah.
Incredible. I don't know what the
that gameplay
Wizards...
trailer is just...
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Redonkulous, as
Way
the
to go,
kids say.
Poland.
Anyway, Witcher 3 beats out South Park, Kingdom Hearts 3, Dragon Age, Inquisition, Dark Souls 2.
Sure. Where is...
IGN metrics from E3 would have suggested that Kingdom Hearts 3 would have won that poll.
Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 15 were huge coming out of E3, especially with those reveals and
Final Fantasy
reveals.
15 is in sixth place as of right now.
We were saying before we started recording that, I believe in this data, I think it's good data, but it does skew towards games we know a lot about. Like Final Fantasy 15, that game's going to be huge when it comes out, but there's
probably
still...
won't even be 2014.
That's what I mean. There's a lot we don't know,
Sure.
so it's like the game's coming out in the spring that people know what they're getting. I feel like they were more likely to vote for.
And South Park and Watch Dogs are kind of... we know a lot about them because they were supposed to come out. We should have already played them.
Yeah.
All right, shooters. Most anticipated shooter, Destiny.
Ooh, surprising.
Right?
Correct answer, however, I mean, it's 1A, 1B.
You gotta stop saying that.
Titanfall.
I know. That's number two. I was surprised.
Yeah, Destiny. It's actually
phenomenal.
how far ahead. There's a gap between them even.
Destiny's number one. It has a 4 percentage point gap.
Okay.
We should say how we let people, if you didn't see the poll, you could select as many things as you wanted. So you could say, I'm hyped for these 6 out of these 20 games.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's not, you didn't just pick one.
Sure.
But more people
Did anything
picked
else
Destiny.
even chart, or is it just Destiny and Titanfall?
Well, you know
Halo
what it is?
5.
It's the PlayStation fans out there didn't vote for, didn't check Titanfall because they don't have Xbox or PC, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah. So like both Xbox and PS4 gamers could check Destiny.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Halo 5 is number 4.
And again, we know nothing about that. He may or may not have a parka.
Take that poll again at E3, and then I think Halo will be a little higher.
Well, set as a reminder for yourself to do this poll again in 6 months.
Set an iPhone reminder right now.
What surprised me about Halo 5 is Halo 4 was not well received. I mean, it sold well.
What?
No, but look.
About?
You saw.
You're crazy.
You loved it, but come on, man. No one plays that game online. The online community was dead weeks after launch.
But it was well received. It was really well received.
Your phrasing.
I don't think that's true. I think
your phrasing is atrocious.
No.
If it got good reviews and it sold well, it would not be well received.
This is not an unpopular opinion. If you look, people think that Halo 4 killed the Halo franchise.
I think you just
Call of Duty killed the Halo franchise as far as online goes, but to say it's not well received is just. I mean,
I think the Halo community did not receive. They don't play the game. They stopped playing the game after.
But they received it well. It just didn't have the
well received.
So they received it well, but then they didn't enjoy it or continue playing it. Yeah. I was just surprised to see Halo 5 so high. It gave me hope. I love Halo, and so it gave me hope that, man, like I was worried that Halo 4, like 343, really, like I was worried the franchise wouldn't be able to bounce back. And so there's still a lot of interest in Halo 5, and I'm glad.
There's some aggression on this couch now. I like that.
Yeah, there is.
Halo 5 is followed by Rainbow Six Patriots, but I'm not very confident that that's going to be coming out next year. And then Call of Duty 11 got 7%.
We're calling it Call of Duty 11.
What are we going to call it?
I like it.
Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
Wopsy.
Yeah. All right, this is the adventure games. Ooh. The top 3 are all Telltale games. Walking Dead Season 2, Game of Thrones, and Tales from the Borderlands. Just announced.
Was Wolf Among Us not on there?
We didn't put. I didn't put
the rest of Wolf.
No, because it technically debuted this year. I left it off.
So will Walking Dead
Season 2.
Oh, that's true. Good point. But it wasn't out when the poll went live.
Yeah. We didn't know that.
Yeah. What about your poll? Double Fine Adventure game on there?
It's way down there. Only 4% chose Broken Age.
Well, at least $4 million worth of votes went towards it. So
we can hug later.
Yeah.
It did well on Kickstarter.
Yeah. That's good enough. What else? What other adventure games are on there?
Octodad is on here. Is that an adventure game?
I didn't know where to put Octodad.
It's an octopus game.
It's technically, I'll tell you, again, this is one of those things where like you think, oh, I'll put together this poll. I'll put together this poll and it'll be an easy feature. Then I'm like, Octodad, I don't know what to do with you. And the developers call it an adventure game. So I put it in the adventure category, even though it's not point-and-click adventure in that way.
You will allow it?
I will allow it.
Thanks.
We may continue.
This category is online/MMO games.
Ooh.
Number 1 is Tom Clancy's The Division.
Sure.
If it makes 2014.
And if it counts as an MMO. This is another weird
That's
genre.
the interesting thing with a lot of these Ubisoft games that Ubisoft did the press conferences recently. Yeah, with the crew, they've been doing that. Even Watch Dogs kind of did that thing where the camera zooms out at the end and it's like everyone's in the same world, and then Eve's head blows
you
up.
You could have arguably put Destiny in here as well.
Sure.
So it fits in either one.
I consider The Division more MMO-y.
I would agree with
than
that.
the others.
They've been presenting it more.
Yeah. But the crew is kind of like a racing game MMO, and I'm like, I don't know what genres don't exist anymore.
The Division is closely followed by Elder Scrolls
MMO car PG.
Yeah.
Car PG. Oh my goodness gracious!
But then we got Elder Scrolls Online.
Do you get your Drivatars in the car PG?
Probably.
Okay.
I don't like where this is going.
Ryan, you're excited for Elder Scrolls Online?
Yeah, I haven't. I've played a little bit at E3, and my 45 minutes went by like that.
Yeah.
And that was before even the first person mode had been implemented into the game, and I just love first person anything in my games, and so I will probably I'll probably disappear into that game for quite some time.
I'm really excited about it too. We were really worried, or I was really worried because I'm excited about it, that the reaction was really, really negative around the $15 subscription fee. A $60 game with the $15.
It feels very archaic.
And there's an example too. I mean, Elder Scrolls, when it was first officially unveiled, it had been rumored for a long, long time. When it was finally unveiled, the response was pretty negative. It was like, oh, this looks ugly. It doesn't necessarily sound that great. Oh, it looked like
WoW, but it's
not free to play like everything else is now. But over time, as they've shown it and they've actually gotten people to play it, it has won people back over.
I hope that game does really well.
Was EverQuest next on that list?
Yes.
EverQuest, yeah. So after Elder Scrolls, there's a big drop-off with stuff like WildStar, EverQuest Next, Phantasy Star Online 2. Sure. World of Warships, our audience, not interested.
Not big fans of warships.
In World of Warships.
Or Worlds.
I mean, World of Spaceships.
Yeah.
That.
Yes.
That's Star Citizen.
Or maybe that's No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what that game's going to be.
We have a couple of those games coming.
This category is horror/survival.
Spooky games.
Spookies.
Number 1 is Dying Light.
Sure.
Justin wasn't sure what that was. That's the zombie parkour game from Techland.
Yeah, it had a good showing at E3. It had a solid showing at the VGXs.
I played it. It's Mirror's Edge meets Left 4 Dead, which made me really happy.
It's a great logline.
Now, how'd you feel about Dead Island?
It's fine, but this appeals to me a little more. Dying Light appeals to me a little more.
Techland also did another Polish company, so Dying Light, the polls are at the top of 2 polls. Techland also did Kala War's Gunslinger.
Yeah, that's
true.
Which is sort of like
very underrated,
really interesting game.
Yeah,
like the way it frames its story, the way it handles narration is kind of like Bastion.
Yeah.
So I hope like they do more kind of wacky stuff.
Yeah, if you haven't watched the first 15 minutes of that game that Mitch
is that where you do your accent?
Yeah, it goes a little off the rails, but
also that game has one of the weirdest like sort of twist endings ever.
Spoil it.
Only $15.
Can I spoil it?
Spoil it, but spoilers for Cauliflower's Gunslinger.
Listening. So the whole time you're in the game, you're talking to people in a bar and telling them a story, and one of the guys in the corner is named Dwight. And at the end of it, he leaves, and it turns out it's Dwight Eisenhower.
Why? Why is it Eisenhower?
What does it matter? It's like the same thing in The Conduit 2, where like all the presidents came back and like, landed with guns. And, Shyamalan twist right there.
Interesting.
Yeah, Dying Light is followed by The Evil Within.
Yep.
And then Daisy's standalone.
Sure.
Yeah.
Evil Within, I'm excited for that. There's going to be cool horror games next year. There's going to be stuff like Outlast and Amnesia that kind of...
And I've got to figure, I don't know if it would come out in 2014, but I've got to figure a Resident Evil 7 or Resident Evil reboot is going to get announced.
Yeah, I mean, Capcom has to be working on something.
A Resident Evil reboot would be...
That'd be really cool.
Could be really good.
Reboot.
Yep.
Yeah, I get, remake.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
We did it. Did we have everybody gone to the Rapture on that list? The new game from the Chinese room?
No.
It's not on here.
That's the interesting game. It's coming to PS4. The guys who did Dear Esther. It's kind of game where you're just in a world, right, as it's about to end.
It had a cool teaser.
Yeah.
On the fighting game list, there's new Super Smash Brothers and then just everything else.
Yeah.
So some of the names of these fighting games, Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Revolution,
Sure.
BlazBlue Chrono Phantasma, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Those all sound delicious.
Well, these guys need to work on being more succinct.
Yeah.
But
the RPG list was even funnier.
The number 2 game is Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z. That's beating Ultra Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, that surprised me a lot too. I expected Street Fighter.
I think people have just played Street Fighter 4 enough. And they're ready for 5.
There hasn't been any Dragon Ball Z games.
Yeah, that's true. Those fans can never have enough, though.
It's funny how like some games, like there's a Street Fighter every year, right? But when Street Fighter 5 is announced, I'll still be like, "Boo!" Like for some reason, it'll still really surprise me.
Sooner than we think.
I feel the same way about Resident Evil. Like when Resident Evil, would it be 7?
7, yeah.
When Resident Evil 7 is announced, like I'll be really surprised, even though obviously there's like a new Resident Evil coming.
Well, it's the same thing like with Fallout 4 this
exactly,
week, right?
sure.
Same deal.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Do you guys know what's at the top of the racing games list?
The Crew?
Forza Horizon 2?
Mario Kart 8.
Oh, that's not
That was
surprising.
the obvious answer.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Yeah, Mario Kart 8, followed by Drive Club, then The Crew.
Okay.
By the way, Forza Horizon 2, not an announced thing, but another one of those
sure.
where it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that it was interesting to me when I ran this poll. One of the things I was most interested to see was whether The Crew or Drive Club was getting more hype. And so was it even
It's
close?
Drive Club.
Yeah, but they are very close. So
pretty close. Yeah.
Interest among those two.
I keep waiting for Criterion to make Burnout versus Road Rash, bring them both back at the same time.
I could handle
Not
that.
happening.
I had a dream when I was, God, how old would I
This is
be?
getting weird.
I was like 13, and I had a dream that I got Road Rash. And then I woke up.
Like the actual
Yeah,
Road
for
Rash?
Sega Genesis.
Oh.
No, I didn't get a Road Rash. I got the game Road Rash 2. And
Riding through the barn.
I had like, it was one of those deals where it was like so vivid. And I'm like, oh, and then I woke up and ran downstairs because apparently I don't know how dreams work.
Did you ever actually get the game?
I eventually saved and like bought it with like allowance money or something. But I have like this moment of like palpable disappointment when it like wasn't there. Like it was really sad and weird.
All right, platformers dominated by Nintendo stuff. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze at number 1. Yoshi's New Island. And then there's Rayman Legends for PS4 and Xbox One.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be a gorgeous game on next gen.
Yeah, Donkey Kong is coming soon. That's coming. I got to play it a few days ago.
February?
February 19th.
Got that Cranky Kong.
Got Cranky Kong.
It's sending it over the top.
Yeah.
These last two lists are a little... There's a strategy slim / tactics.
Sim.
Yeah, The Sims 4. And then just everything else.
Yeah.
Like Total War Arena, Tropico 5.
People are hyped about that Tropico 5. I love the Tropico game so much.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I played.
I've never played.
Well, clearly plenty of people do. We're up to 5 of them.
Yeah. Tropico 3 and 4, I 100%ed. I put like 40 hours into each one doing every single scenario.
I'm just surprised people still play The Sims.
Yeah.
So it was at one point genuinely like the biggest game in the world.
Sure. But that was a while ago.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, and they've gotten into this sim cycle where they never stop. It's like, game, expansion, sure. Then sequel. Like, there's never a break between, like, you can get your Sims fix all the time now.
Yeah. Finally, in the puzzle category, The Witness.
Yeah.
Jonathan Blow's The Witness.
Tough to argue with that one.
Yeah.
It's going to be incredible. I hope.
Yeah. Followed by Professor Layton and the Azran Legacy.
Mm-hmm. Sounds fancy.
And then Cube Director's Cut. I don't know what that is.
Wii U puzzle game.
Yeah. Not a lot of puzzle games.
There's one game that we didn't talk about that I'm really excited about.
Which one?
Transistor.
Yeah, it was on the strategy sim. So that game, I'd watched the trailers, and I feel like I'd even read your preview. That's turn-based. Like, it's pause combat.
Yeah.
I didn't know it wasn't like that.
You choose when to pause it.
But I thought you paused and put in actions and unpause, and then those actions would happen.
You do that, but when you unpause, everything else freezes and you do everything. But you can also run around just hack and slash at your will.
Because I totally missed like that whole side, like that tactical side of this game.
It's a tough battle system to explain, but 10 minutes with it, you immediately understand it. Yeah,
that game is shit hot.
Yeah.
Well, apparently only 7% of our readers.
But that's actually not terrible for like. It's just not as high profile.
Yeah. Like, make it. We're just going to do cover stories every day.
It's a lot more than Super Time Force.
Yeah, that's true. You guys are disappointing.
7% of IGN responders in this poll is still like 1 billion people.
Yeah.
So
Damon, what are you personally most excited
I was just thinking about that.
Well.
Gosh, I don't know. Titanfall is like the early one that's coming.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty sure that Tomb Raider 2 will be announced.
Yeah.
I don't think it might not come out next year, but I'll
sure.
definitely be anticipating that one.
Yeah.
Anticipating that announcement.
Is anyone here still holding their breath for the Last Guardian?
Nope.
No, I don't.
All right. I don't think
that's why I have asthma.
Yeah.
Keep holding that breath.
Wait, that's not how asthma works.
That's absolutely how asthma works.
If you just keep holding your breath, you get it?
Nope.
What about you three? Do you have a most anticipated game next year?
It would probably go Titanfall 1, just because A, I've played it, and B, it is, as you said, right around the corner. Yeah. And I know, what I played is amazing. And then in South Park after that, just because,
they're right around the same. They're the same
right around the corner, March. And then after that, it definitely goes to Destiny for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm excited for everything you just said. If I'm looking at little guys, I'm thinking of stuff like The Witness, Below. The other Capybara game.
Below's going to be great.
Yeah. Even Lightning Returns I'm excited for. The little guys. Lightning.
Halo would be on my list after those games. The thing is...
If you knew if they had ponchos or not.
That, as
Secret
well as,
ponchos.
Secret ponchos.
Halo has traditionally gone on 3-year cycles, and it's served the series well, and this would, they've said 2014, so if it's 2 years, on a new platform, is that, I hope that's enough time.
Are you playing that Halo Spartan Assault?
You will see a preview on IGN very shortly, a video preview.
Is it not out yet? I thought it was out now.
It's Christmas Eve for Xbox One and January for the 360
it's been out on Surface for a while.
Yeah, but now it's on a platform where you actually would want to play it.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
Let's be real here, people.
Yes, this is the sponsor.
Play us out.
I'm most anticipated for Watch Dogs.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one. I forgot that it's my most anticipated game.
I'm a little...
It's a bad sign.
Like, the delay, I hope it's good news. Delays can be one of two things. It's like, holy crap, we need to fix this broken game. Or it's just like, hey, we have something that we know is good. Let's make it great.
Yeah.
So depending on which kind of delay it is, we'll see how the finished product is. But I really, really think that game... the gameplay looks fun, but even besides that... just the social message it has. I think it's hitting at an incredibly timely time for
every day we hear about more NSA surveillance stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just crazy. And not that games need to be too super political, but I just feel like they must have started work on that years ago, and to be able to understand this is something that's going to be relevant and interesting in 2013, 2014.
Yeah.
And
what if the NSA is watching you through Watch Dogs? Wouldn't that be
my goodness gracious?
An extra?
I have to throw up.
Throw up?
Yeah, that was deep.
All right, before Marty throws up, we're going to cut this episode short. But stay tuned. We'll be talking a lot more about all these games.
That table is...
here on IGN GamesCube.